Kaio, a 12-year-old boy, woke up every day before the sun rose. The mornings were always cold, and the hard ground beneath the awning where he slept made his body ache. He wrapped himself in an old blanket, his only comfort, and got up, ready to face another day. With no place to live, Kaio sold candy at traffic lights to make some money for food. He was invisible to most of the people who hurried by in their cars. One day, as he arrived at the busy corner where he always worked, Kaio noticed something different. A well-dressed woman with a worried expression was walking quickly. Her name was Beatrice, heiress to a famous clothing brand. She was there for an important meeting, but before she could reach the building, a man approached her, snatching her bag and cell phone from her hands. In a matter of seconds, Beatrice was left without means of communication or transportation. Desperate, she tried to ask for help, but no one seemed willing to stop. Kaio, watching from afar, felt an urge to approach. He knew what it was like to need help and be ignored. As he got closer, he offered what he had. "I can help you with some coins for the bus," he said with a shy smile. Beatrice, touched by the unexpected kindness of the boy, accepted, thanking him sincerely. At that moment, she didn't know it, but this encounter would change both of their lives forever. The next day, Beatrice couldn't stop thinking about Kaio's gesture. The boy's simplicity and generosity moved her in a way she hadn't expected. She decided that she wanted to give back. She told her mother, Helena, about what had happened, and the two agreed to help the boy somehow. Helena suggested they go to the same bus stop the next morning. When they arrived, there was Kaio, with his box of candy, walking between the cars and smiling at the drivers. Beatrice got out of the car, and he was surprised to see her again. "Hi, miss. Need more coins today?" he joked. Beatrice laughed and replied, "Not today, Kaio, but I want to take you to a special place. Will you come with us?" Kaio hesitated for a moment, but something in Beatrice's voice made him curious. "Sure, why not?" he answered, getting into the car with a mix of anxiety and excitement. Little did he know, this invitation would change his life forever. They drove off, and the destination was unknown to Kaio, but hope sparkled in his eyes. In the car, Kaio looked curiously out the window, trying to guess where they were going. Beatrice and Helena exchanged knowing glances, while the boy kept his shy smile. "You're not going to kidnap me, are you?" he joked, trying to hide some of his anxiety. Helena laughed and replied, "Nothing like that, Kaio. We want to introduce you to a special place." They took him shopping. At first, Kaio was a little shy, but as the necessity of buying clothes grew, he started picking out some pieces. Still in disbelief about everything that was happening, he couldn't stop thanking Helena and Beatrice. They asked him about his parents, and he explained that they had passed away. Afterward, he went to live with an uncle, but due to his uncle's aggressive behavior and constant exploitation, Kaio ended up living alone on the streets, selling candy to survive. After returning home, Beatrice couldn't stop thinking about Kaio. The boy's simplicity, his difficult situation, and the spark of hope in his eyes deeply moved her. As soon as they walked through the door, Beatrice turned to her mother, Helena, with a serious expression. "We need to do more for him, Mom," Beatrice said, almost pleading. "We can't just let him go back to the streets. He deserves a real chance, a better life." Helena, who had already been thinking about it, nodded. "I feel the same way, dear. But we need to be careful. Getting Kaio off the streets is just the first step. We need to make sure he has a safe home, stability, and most importantly, love." The two sat at the kitchen table, where they spent hours discussing a plan. They thought about every detail: where Kaio would sleep, how to make him feel at home, how to encourage him in his studies, and ensure he received the emotional support he needed. Helena suggested they consult a child psychologist to help Kaio deal with his past traumas. "We could renovate the guest room," Beatrice suggested excitedly. "Let's decorate it in a way that makes him feel comfortable, without any pressure, but showing him that he now has a place where he belongs." Exactly, Helena agreed. And at school, we can talk to the administration to make sure he gets all the support he needs, both academically and emotionally. We'll do everything in our power to help him feel good and move forward. The plan was set. They decided they would present the proposal to Kaio the next day. As they headed upstairs to sleep, both knew they were about to change Kaio's life forever. But little did they know, their lives would also be profoundly changed by this decision. The next day, Beatrice and Helena returned to the spot where they had first met Kaio. The boy, still a bit wary, watched them from a distance, unsure of what to expect. As they approached, Beatrice smiled and said, "Kaio, we have a proposal for you." Kaio frowned, intrigued. "What kind of proposal?" he asked, keeping a certain distance. Helena stepped forward, her voice gentle. "We want to offer you a home, Kaio. A place where you can live safely, study, and have a fresh start. We know it's not easy to trust, but we want you to have the chance to begin again." Kaio hesitated, still afraid of being deceived, but as he looked into the sincere faces of the two women, something inside him cracked. He wanted to believe it was possible, that there was hope. I accept," he said, his voice trembling but determined. Beatrice smiled, moved. "We'll do this together, Kaio, one step at a time." And so, Kaio embarked on the most important journey of his life, leaving behind the streets he had known so well. With the dedication and support of Beatrice and Helena, Kaio's life began to transform. The next day, his heart raced as they approached the school gates. Beatrice and Helena walked beside him, ensuring he felt safe. He had never been in a place like this before. The sound of children laughing and chatting, the smell of paper and ink. It was all new. Kaio was introduced to his class, and the curious stares of his classmates made him a little uncomfortable. Beatrice whispered in his ear, "Relax, it's going to be fine." Helena smiled at the teacher, explaining that Kaio was starting there and would need a little patience. At first, he could barely understand what the teacher was saying. The words seemed confusing, as if they were tangled in a mess of sounds, but slowly he began to catch on. He realized that he could learn, he just had to believe in himself. By the end of the day, Kaio left school with a shy smile. "How was it?" Helena asked. "Different," he replied, but deep down, he felt that something inside him had changed. His life was transforming completely. He excelled in his studies, always with the same determination that had led him to accept the help of that family. His teachers saw him as an example of perseverance, and he became well liked by everyone at school. He started getting the best grades and made Beatrice and Helena proud. He made friends and was living a dream he never thought possible. The years flew by, and on the day of his graduation, the auditorium was packed. Beatrice and Helena, beaming with pride, sat in the front row, emotional as they watched Kaio walk onto the stage. He received his diploma with a radiant smile, recalling every challenge he had overcome. With a standing ovation from everyone, he knew that this was just one of many achievements yet to come. After the ceremony, Kaio gave a brief speech. "Today I stand here because of people who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I thank Beatrice and Helena for giving me a second chance. I promise to give back by helping other children find their way, just as you did for me." With those words, Kaio sealed his commitment to continue the cycle of kindness. He had become someone of great value, an example that, with love and support, any destiny can be changed. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Here, I always bring the best life reflections to help you live well and keep your self-esteem high. See you in the next story.